When we talk about continuous delivery, we also often talk about the delivery pipeline. The pipeline is a key concept that describes the steps we need to take from the moment we check in a piece of code into the source control repository until the moment the feature is actually in production. Here you can see the pipeline visualized. We start with source control as the trigger of a change going through the pipeline. The first step after the check-in or commit is building the source code to deployable artifacts. This often involves compilation, running unit tests and packaging up the results in a format that makes it usable in the later stages of the pipeline. After the build of the software starts, it's a journey towards production. In this diagram you see that we deploy the software on a test environment and then we run some tests, and if that's all done, we see then, for example, a person doing the release management, sometimes called a release manager. They actually move the stuff into production. With continuous delivery, we strive for the fact that we want to get a feature committed in the source control repository and deliver it as fast as possible to production in an automated, reliable way. The influence that we have with containers on the continuous delivery pipeline is pretty big. If you now see and consider this new diagram, you see that we move the feature, once it's committed out of source control, into production. You see that we still build the binaries, but the next step is to bake a container that we then can move around in the different environments. The idea is that we never have to install our software anymore, and that the container that we created is eventually moved into the production environment. Since containers are stateless, we can very consistently repeat these steps we do, giving us a very reliable way of moving the deployment into production. The only thing we need to do is find a way to orchestrate this process. Now, one of the ways to orchestrate this is using a release pipeline in a tool as, for example, Jenkins. Jenkins is often used in an open source scenario. Microsoft also has a whole toolset that can help you manage and orchestrate these continuous delivery pipelines. This is called Visual Studio Team Services. VSTS provides a fully integrated environment that has source control in the form of Git. It has a build engine that can build any software technology stack you'd like, and a release management environment that can orchestrate and deploy your software to any environment you want, including containers. As you can see in the previous slides, the process consists primarily out of two steps. The first step is to build the software and bake the container. And the second stage is to deploy the containers to where you need them to be. This can be either a test environment or a production environment. Let me demonstrate how we can build and deploy a container using VSTS.